is Dogecoin going to be a viable asset moving forward, or whatever you want to call it? Some people are calling it asset, some are calling it a currency. Just take it away.
So of course, if you look at when Twitter was taken over by one of the, of course, Peter was one of the original Doge Lords from our group, but now it seems someone's racing for that crown, which is Elon, of course.
Yeah, you
can see the actual boner candle was triggered from that moment forward. And then when you see the, there's tweets, you'll see where he's speaking of using Dogecoin as a way to pay for articles to have coverage to the Twitter groups. So he's looking for ways to create revenue at the company. And one of those statements is actually using Doge, like one Doge to make sure your article is posted and or presented. I don't know if this is being shared now.
Yeah, I'm going to share it in a second.
Beautiful.
Go ahead.
So that's where you can see, of course, we were all there, even Saturday Night Live and other places where he's specifically mentioned the future of sending people to Mars or using Doge as a way to fund his missions out there. It's totally inflationary. So it's a highly speculative asset. I mean, you have to do your research, but you also see when Elon makes a move, Doge kind of follows what he's saying in terms of the growth. The outcome has been, of course, that now you have millionaires minted out of these moves. If you look at it, it was just around 5.5 cents, and all of a sudden now it's at 13 cents. Go ahead.
If you're a Dogecoin millionaire, you Jaime Garzaro, you're a Dogecoin millionaire. Are you taking your money and running?
I would, at this point, take profits, because whenever you see a move like this, you take profits. Then you look for the next support zone to buy again. And of course, you do technicals. So Don Franz zones you can actually draw these out and see where people are trapped upside down and where the others are ahead of the curve. So you look for these retracements to buy in. And then with global situations like the federal meeting and those, it will help you define the general direction. Yes, but yes, I would take profits. We even spoke of this when Bed and Bath & Beyond did that boner candle. And we're like, all right, guys, don't jump in now.
Green is green.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Green is green. Take profits when you can.
Definitely 100%. I mean, I have failed to take profits on assets or tokens that I have held that actually have legitimate use cases. And that was a major mistake on my part. So no one is saying that you cannot.
I don't want to take it, but you are also were made millionaire out of stuff like that.
Right. No doubt. And like, that's what I'm saying is, excuse me, when you have a coin that has an actual use case, but still goes to zero, all that is saying, then who the hell is Doge? Right. Like if you have other coins with legitimate ecosystems, legitimate teams and developers working on it, and it goes to zero, then who the hell are you, Doge? Who are you, XRP? Who are you, XLM? And who are you, Cardano? That's all I'm saying, is that it can absolutely happen to you. And there's no secret that there is not a lot of use case right now in Doge. And I will definitely get more into this because I have a feeling a Tamp rant is coming today.
Let's go. Let's go.
So I say all of that just to plead with anybody that is holding Doge. I'm not saying you cannot make money with it. That is not what I am saying. But what I am saying is that you better take profits. And Mr. DeSoto has a great point. A lot of people bought Doge in speculation that Elon would just say it or tweet it and it will go up. That is fine. Make your money. But in order to make the money, you have to take profits. Don't hold this coin, long term. Take your profits now. If you bought whatever, $1,000 worth, take your $500. Definitely take out what you put in for sure, so that you're only playing or losing house money. But take your profits.
And if I may give just a small amount of like history behind Doge, I think it's the context is so helpful. So like Reddit's community specifically wanted a cryptocurrency for tipping. They didn't want it to be serious. They wanted it to be like, hey, you contributed to the conversation. Thank you for doing that. And so Dogecoin was forked off of Litecoin, which was forked off of Bitcoin. And so Litecoin was specifically forked in order to have different economics than Bitcoin. So it's faster, but also doesn't appreciate as fast, right? And then Dogecoin expounded on that. And they wanted to make it infinitely inflationary. So Doge just keeps rolling. It just keeps coming out in supply. But people who mine Litecoin are on script. That's the algorithm that the ASICs are running. Dogecoin is also running on script. And so people who mine, like back in the early days of ASIC mining, we had people who had Bitcoin and Litecoin. And they're like, well, we can submit our mining work to both Litecoin and Doge. And so they ended up just having these big bags of Doge. And what they found is Doge has extremely cheap transaction rates, and it's very, very fast. And especially like back in 2016, when Bitcoin was getting really, really tested for how many transactions per second could really be handled, we saw people using Doge. And so Doge inside baseball has been used every time there's a big pump in the market to get money moved, like large sums of money, millions of dollars moved off of the exchanges and then converting them over, and also riding a wave up while they're at it. So Doge is, it has traditionally held that place, but we do have other coins that do fit that profile now. And so Doge has kind of evolved. I don't know that we'll keep seeing those same patterns used, but just the same very normie people who aren't super into crypto, they're just kind of into meme culture. They're into Doge. And a lot of these pumps you've seen have not been because the market is pumping. It's been because people are basically making bets on Elon doing something that is newsworthy.
Absolutely.
Correct. Yeah.
Now-
And I'll just add on to that a little bit. I know that Elon has been, ever since he started with the whole Doge thing, one thing he was doing is looking for developers to develop on that chain because there were none. And hopefully, I don't know this, but hopefully Elon figured out how to build more upon Doge, because a lot of the reason Doge is so fast, along with other coins that we'll talk about, they brag about transaction speed because there are no transactions on the network. So if you're really going to implement Doge into Twitter and try to charge people for access to an article, you better have a seriously robust and newly developed code on Doge, because that sort of influx of usage is going to get bottlenecked very quickly. And the fast transaction speeds will no longer apply, because now you actually have users using the coin and it can very quickly tank the entire protocol. Ask Cardano. That's same thing happened to them. So I don't know if they have figured this out as far as new developers since Elon started touting it. But if they have not, it's not going to work. It just won't.
Now, what I find fascinating is the fact that Elon became a multimillionaire in the payments industry.
And PayPal.
And PayPal, exactly. That's where he triggered, and every project ever since, he's been able to monetize it. And now they're sticking over Twitter is reframing that whole business model to where it's no longer a losing proposition, but a winning proposition. And it's very interesting to see that he's still pushing Dogecoin into the use case. And of course, with that caveat, can Doge itself, the protocol itself, support that huge influx of transactions that are expected to occur? And is he going to come up with a way to collect all the transactions and then submit it in a single transaction to the blockchain instead of each and every single one trying to pass through?
That's going to happen. I'm willing to bet he's doing two things. One, I think he's looking for clever ways to fund blockchain development through Doge. And two, I think he's looking to give a big middle finger to a lot of the other billionaires who he doesn't exactly like. And, a lot of them take such pride in like, well, yeah, our money is our identity. And he's like, your money's a toy. It's a game. It's funny money. And I'm going to show you just how funny this money really is with Dogecoin. Right. And so I think it's a punk rock middle finger is what it is.
That's fair.
I love the shit show, guys. I mean, this is an amazing thing to watch. Because
Coffee and Friends were good.
That'll be the key difference, is that Elon can finance development on a meme coin that actually makes it useful and turns something into an ecosystem, that's going to be a big differentiator between old school Doge and a lot of the other old school coins that are a lot of times spoken about that we'll talk about here in just a little bit.
And he can fork it too. He can fork Doge into something that's specifically supported on his Twitter platform, and add, you know, like layer 2 and 3 to it. So like that's possible, right? Like we did that with Lightning Network on Bitcoin. It's not like it can't be done on Doge.
And he's going to have to. He's going to have to do that.
Or he jumped on Doge for a reason. One, unlimited supply, which is going to be needed for a Mars mission if that's still his mission. Like you will need huge values to be able to input into those missions. So I'm enjoying the show, guys.
If he forks this, is it then, does it give him the ability to make Doge finite? Because this is something that's constantly being diluted, correct?
Yes, but I don't think he's going to. I don't think he'll fork Data Lord.
Because that's my thing. It's like from a traditional sense, any stock or company that continually dilutes their shareholders is always a bad thing. There's no way you can tell me that it's not. I don't care if the stock goes up for a little bit or not. It's going to come right back down as soon as the shares start to get sold.
Sure.
And so I think that looking at Doge, that's the way that I perceive this is like, okay, well, it's just going to endlessly dilute. It's going to continue to print coins just like the Fed continues to print dollars.
Yeah,
so why would I hold any value to Doge?
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to keep it in circulation. It was made for tipping. It's not made for store of value. Store of value is what Bitcoin's metrics were set up for, as opposed to Litecoin was even less so. It's meant to be more transactional, and you know, Doge was exasperating those details to be even that much more transactional, where it doesn't help you to just have a big fat wallet of it for years. It helps you to basically have it and keep it moving and treat it as like a token of appreciation.
Now,
unintended.
Yeah.
I
Now,
appreciate
if Elon gets engineers to participate, because we've even seen, I don't know, as a joke or whatever it is, where they're telling Elon, take over this project, run with this project. If he were to adjust to where it becomes now a store of value, a deflationary asset, God damn, these existing millionaires could become billionaires.
I don't think that will happen though. Like it's hard coded. Like you'd have to fork it and completely trash the original Doge, and I don't see that happening. But
is there a community where votes can occur, Brandon?
There's a huge community, yeah. And by the way, what we're doing right now is purely speculation.
Of course,
you know, no one take this as like, hey, we have inside baseball here. You know,
it's meme coins.
But yeah, truly anything could happen, and we've seen plenty of forks of Doge happen, and people just trying to make a quick shitcoin buck. So, c'est la vie.
Yeah,
yep,
absolutely.
Yeah. But if you want to talk about this more, for sure, head over to our Discord. We'll put the link in the chat. Get over there. The water cooler is a good place to bring things up, and then once we bring things up, whether it's questions or topics that we want to go over on the next show, then we can, you know, filter down into some of the more niche threads that are on that. But please go over there and say hello and you know, let us know you're around still.